Hello, my name is Ayorinde Elizabeth. You're welcome to Matters Arising on Sexuality Education. It's nice to have you join me today because I'm going to be discussing with you a very serious issue that has been bothering my mind, and it's as a result of matters arising from our sexuality education training. And this is about adolescent sexuality. This is going to be in a series because I'm going to be talking about it over time. So when you talk about adolescent sexuality, what are you talking about? Adolescent sexuality is a stage of human development in which adolescents try to explore and experience sexual feeling. They've been saying it, their body is becoming very sexual now, and they are developing their secondary reproductive organs. Their main reproductive organs is developing. They have sexual features developing in their body, and they want to explore it. Especially the curious one want to know how it is with the opposite sex, and some want to see how other same sex, how they look, and because they see all those things around and they want to explore. So that is about their development. Also, when you talk about adolescent sexuality, you're talking about um the intensity of their interest concerning their sexuality. That is when they want to know who they are. Okay, maybe we should start by talking about sexuality. When you talk about sexuality is not just about the human, the physical appearance of the person, but also sexuality is about the behavior, is about the attitude of the person, is this model trying to help us understand adolescent sexuality. I've been able to classify it into the biological, psychological, and the social. It says it's called the biopsychosocial model. Now, telling us that the sexuality of adolescents are biological, they are psychological, and they are social. The development of a human in these three perspectives, especially the sex we are talking about, which are the adolescent, is what forms their sexuality. At this time they are growing, their body is growing, a lot of changes is happening within them. I want you to know that this set of individuals, they are not accepted among children, and the adults are not welcoming them either. But then this is stressing them, is really stressing them. They have this surge of hormones, this development that is going through them, these changes that is making things around them feel unusual. They can't explain it, they can't understand it, they just have to deal with it. But unfortunately many parents are not making it easier for them. So we want to talk about this issue that surrounds the adolescent sexuality. And the first I'm going to start with is a biological. The biological, when you talk about the biological um factor that affects the sexuality, it's divided into their being male or female first, that is their biological sex, now, being male or female. Now, when they were younger, when they were children, what they can pull up their clothes and just enjoy themselves, and they don't care. They have friends, but they don't care about other attachment. In short, it's as if the only difference between they and the girls and the boys is the fact that one has a penis, the other has a vagina. Every other thing seems to remain the same. But as they grow and get to the puberty stage, a lot of things are happening. The blade for the girls, the voice becomes thinner, the breasts are growing, the hips is becoming enlarged, the vagina is taking a more matured shape, and the body is taking the shape of the hourglass, the hourglass shape for the girls. They are everything is all feminine about them. The menstruation has started with all its inconveniences, and everything is becoming changing for these children. Then they were like, wow, like 2 years ago I wasn't like this, 3 years ago I wasn't like this, what's going on? The boys still have their own share. The voice is becoming thicker, their chest is becoming broader, their genitals are becoming more mature, and for and they also start to have wet dreams. All of these changes are there for them, and they need somebody to come and tell them it will be all right. But unfortunately, many people see this adolescent to be frustrating. They see them to be terrible. They see them to be any kind of thing, not knowing that these changes that is going on in the body of these children is giving them a stressful time. Parents, teachers, guardians, those of you listening to me, those of you that are here in charge of these teenagers, please, I want you to help them. What they need at this time is encouragement. I remember some of us, while we were growing up, while we started our menstruation, our parents didn't take it funny with us. Instead of them to give us the education we need, we didn't get them. You can help the child, educate the child, teach the child on hygiene. I'm talking about the girl child who is having that menstruation. You realize that your child's breast, her body, as a mother, as a parent, you try to help the child. Do you know that a budding breast can be very painful? And if it is left unattended to, it can cause, it can be very, very, very painful. It can it can make the child to be to become a prey in the hand of these terrible predators. Please, let's help these children. Your child is going, is a teenager, is having this puberty. Please give attention to them, and the boys too. They'll be having wet dreams and they will not know how to go about it. And some people will be telling them that if they don't try to have sex, that or masturbate, that they may not get over it, which is all lies. Your child can go through this without being promiscuous. I Somebody was telling a girl who came to me that because of her menstrual pain she should go have sex, and how many kind of this advice will have gone viral for children, girls who are having menstrual pain like this. They'll have told them go and have sex, and go and have sex, and some of them keep having multiple sexual partners, and as a young person, this is terrible. Is not good for their head. So parents, the first thing you are discussing about adolescent sexuality is the physical changes, the biological changes, the biological factor that affect their sexuality. This make them want to hang out with friends. Because of this hormone, they want to go with the opposite sex. Sometimes they want to be appreciated, they want to be commended, and they go out of their way to do these things. But when we are there for them, we can help them to channel it right, and I'm very sure God will be very proud of you if you do this well. Thank you for your time today. Again, my name is Ayorunde Elizabeth. I am the rector of Liberate Sexuality Education and president of Liberate. And at Liberate, what we do is that we add values and virtues to life. Thank you for your time. God bless you.